Hello there, this is my tutorial on how to use the hose tool. Here I'm just going to connect this upper hose here to the lower cylinder that I've made here, and then we're going to bridge tool it across to the mask on the head. So the first thing I need to do is go to extended primitives and create a hose and drag and pull that up. And what I'm going to do is make it bound to object pivots on the right here, and I'm also going to get rid of this flexible extension here and just use it as a normal cylinder, because it's just going to be a blank hose in between this point and this point. And I'm also going to show you a few things that you might encounter along the way. So I use the shortcut keys on the keyboard, where R is scale and transform, and E is rotate by view, and W is the movement gizmo. And so we're just going to position it across so you can see it. And obviously I'm going to hit R and scale that down a bit, and then I'm going to position over here, and I'm going to show you what will probably happen. So what you want to do is go onto the modify panel of the hose and click pick top object, which will be the upper hose, and pick bottom object, which will be the lower cylinder. And obviously it hasn't quite worked out as good as we'd hope. So for a start, it's way too big. So we're going to change the diameter here on hose shape, drag that down, and I've made this hose the same amount of sides as my cylinder on the bottom here, which is 8 sides, just to make it easier to bridge. And now I'm going to show you how to make this work. The reason why this has done this end, and it's actually used the wrong side of the cylinder here, is because the pivot points are incorrect for the two objects. So if I can Control Z that back to where we were and select the upper object, then we can go into this hierarchy panel at the top and affect pivot only, and now we can either send it to the object if you're sort of resetting the object, or you can hit W on the keyboard and then we can move the pivot point, pressing E to rotate, in which case we want it to be this blue arrow. It's also easier if you have this angle snap on, so you can see the angle when you move it. Obviously it's 90 degrees, and then we can center it to the top. Pretty much best we can. That looks pretty good, to be honest. So now when I pick the upper object, the hose will center on this pivot point. So deselect affect pivot point only, and now we'll select the lower object, affect pivot only, and obviously you can see where the blue arrow is, where it was picking for the hose. So we need to rotate that, so push E, and then we'll rotate that to 180, deselect, and then always make sure you deselect the affect pivot only button. So now they've been set so that the hose will connect in the right direction. So select the hose, modify panel, pick top object, and then pick bottom object, and then we're going to scale that down to somewhere close. And what you can do also is adjust the tension by clicking the top object tension and dragging it down, and also the bottom tension, which will pull the cable in wherever you want to position it. until you're happy with where it is, as long as it doesn't hit anything else. Obviously here it's not an ideal angle, so I'll probably edit this once it's been baked to an editable poly, and we can just manually move this up, and then we'll bridge it here, and then we're pretty much done with that one. So right click, convert to editable poly, and then on this drop down list I usually use vertex, and then you can use the soft selection just here, tick the box. Alt and center of the mouse is rotate in the perspective viewpoint. So drag a box around the top there, and you can see the amount of fall off we've got on the vertices, and you can just drag that up, and it will hold its form as you move it without moving single vertices. So obviously here we've got a collision, so if we move that up and out, then we can select the end and move that across. Hopefully we'll not be touching the body, and obviously you can keep playing around with it. If you need to adjust the fall off, just go on the fall off here, 0.2, drag it down, and you'll see the colours change, whereby blue is barely moved, and then slowly through to yellow, we're looking at about 50%, and then orange 75, red is 100% movement with the vertices, and I think that looks okay, so that's pretty good. Then unselect it, and then Control S is save, and now all I would do is move on and delete the end of the polys on the object here. So select poly, and then I'd delete these off, and I would bridge tool across, and I would also bridge tool across between here and between the mask and the cylinder here, and then I would have my hose connected, or my power supply, to the face for this character I'm doing for my project. So I hope that helped with some little basics, and thank you for watching.